به دعوت کمیته روابط خارجی کنگره آمریکا، خانم مریم رجوی رئیس جمهور برگزیده مقاومت در استماعی که بعد از ظهر روز چهارشنبه 29 آوریل 2015 9 اردیبهشت 94 در کنگره برگزار شد شرکت کرد. این استماع در اجلاس رسمی کمیته تروریسم و منع تسلیحات کشتار جمعی به ریاست قاضی تدپو با شرکت نمایندگان کنگره از هر دو حزب و از کمیته‌های مختلف کنگره برگزار گردید و خانم رجوی از طریق ارتباط مستقیم ماهواره‌ای با محل اقامت ایشان در پاریس در جلسه شرکت داشت و پس از ارائه بیانیه خود به سوالات رئیس اجلاس و نمایندگان کنگره پاسخ گفت. توجه شما را به گزارشی از این جلسه استماع جلب می‌کنیم.
The subcommittee will come to order. The Middle East is a complex place. Major players weave an intricate web of support and opposition. As you can see on the screen, that is on each end of the committee room, it's hard to keep track of who supports what groups, but one thing is clear, nobody seems to like ISIS. Yet despite everyone being against ISIS, we're not winning the battle against the war on ISIS. One of the reasons I believe is because it's not clear we understand the group very well. This time we call it like it is. ISIS is a radical Islamic terrorist group. ISIS attempts to rid Iraq of Christians that have been in Iraq since the earliest times of Christianity. The 21 Egyptians beheaded by ISIS in Libya were killed because they were Christians. Christian towns across Syria have been destroyed by ISIS. To recognize that ISIS justifies its actions with Islamic verses does not mean we are at war with Islam. That is too simplistic and not realistic. The chair recognizes the other gentleman from California, Mr. Sherman, for his opening statement.
I want to commend the chair and the ranking member for their excellent selection of witnesses. One witness is particularly controversial, and that's because that witness represents an organization that was formerly on the foreign terrorist organization list. Formerly. The executive branch has treated as terrorists the IRA, Sinn Féin, the African National Congress at various times. Formerly is formerly. Second, the MEK, unlike the vast majority of witnesses, present company accepted, has actually provided Congress with startlingly interesting and useful information, such as the existence of the Natanz nuclear facility. Third, we're told that Ms. Rajavi has greater expertise on Iran than on ISIS. If we had one witness pull out every time that witness thought that the core expertise of a fellow witness was in an area on a related issue and not the explicit subject of the hearing, we would have an awful lot of empty chairs. And finally, the press has attacked the inclusion of the MEK in this hearing because although the MEK has provided incredibly useful information, they tend to provide information that furthers their public policy interest. Been here almost 20 years, heard about 16,000 witnesses. I've never heard a witness that wasn't providing information to further their public policy interest. So I look forward to hearing the witnesses here and commend you on your selection. I yield back.
Mrs. Maryam Rajavi is the President-elect of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. Mrs. Rajavi has appeared before many national parliaments in Europe and has published a book entitled Women Against Islamic Fundamentalism. I think we have the electronics working, and Madam Rajavi, we welcome you to the Subcommittee on Terrorism, Nonproliferation, and Trade. And the subcommittee is ready to hear your testimony.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, distinguished members of the committee, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about this issue. Today, Islamic fundamentalism and extremism under the name of ISIS or Shiite paramilitary groups have turned into a global threat. Islamic fundamentalism emerged as a threat to peace and security when Khomeini stole the leadership of a popular revolution in 1979 and established a religious dictatorship. The Iranian regime has served as the main source of this ominous phenomenon in the region and across the world. The primary objective of Islamic fundamentalists, including ISIS, is to establish an Islamic caliphate and enforce Sharia law. They recognize no borders. Aggressiveness and violence are two common features of Sunni and Shiite extremists. As such, searching for moderates among them is an illusion. In 1993, we published a book, Islamic Fundamentalism, the New Global Threat, warning about this threat and identifying its epicenter in Tehran. We said the mullahs sought to obtain nuclear weapons, to export fundamentalism, and guarantee their own existence. Unfortunately, little, if anything, was done to prevent the export of fundamentalism. Experience shows that in the absence of a firm policy vis-à-vis Tehran regime, there will be destructive consequences. Unfortunately, failure to stop the Iranian regime's post-2003 meddling in Iraq, which led to occupy that country and further spreading fundamentalism. Similarly, crimes committed by Bashar Assad in Syria and the massacre and exclusion of Sunnis in Iraq by Maliki, coupled with Western silence, empowered ISIS. I emphasize that the mullahs regime is not part of any solution to current crisis. It is indeed the heart of the problem. The people of Iran indeed call the mullahs regime as godfather of ISIS and other fundamentalist groups. The ultimate solution to this problem is regime change by the Iranian people and resistance. This regime is extremely fragile. As evident during the 2009 uprising, the overwhelming majority of the Iranian people demanded regime change. The regime's show of force is hollow and a result of weak Western policy. Owing to the pivotal role of the People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran as a democratic Muslim movement, the Iranian resistance has established itself the antithesis to Islamic fundamentalism. We believe in separation of religion and state, gender equality, respect for rights of religious and ethnic minorities, a democratic and non-nuclear Iran. The following practical steps are necessary to achieve this goal. 1. Expel the Quds force from Iraq and end the Iranian regime's influence in that country. 2. Enable full participation of Sunnis in power sharing and arm Sunni tribes to provide security for their communities. 3. Assist Syria's moderate opposition and people to end Assad's regime and establish democracy in that country. 4. Recognize the Iranian people's aspirations to overthrow the mullahs and ending inaction vis-à-vis the gross human rights violations in Iran. 5. Provide protection for and uphold the rights of members of Iran's organized opposition, the PMOI, in Camp Liberty in Iraq. 6. Empower the true democratic and tolerant Islam to counter fundamentalist interpretations of this religion. And 7. Block all pathways for the mullahs regime to acquire nuclear weapons. But let me finish by a quote from America's first president, George Washington. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Rajavi. We will have questions for you momentarily. Mrs. Rajavi, how does ISIS a philosophy different from Sunnis in Saudi Arabia or Shiites in Iran?
بعد به شما بگم که تا اونجا که به شکلگیری داعش برمیگرده این ملاها بودن که کمک کردن تا داعش به این شکل در این نقطه باشه. در 2 سال اخیرم عامل گسترش داعش فراموش نکنید جنایت‌های رژیم ایران و رژیم اسد و همچنین کشتار سنی‌ها در عراق توسط مالکی بوده. بنابراین به دست آوردن قدرت، اونم قدرت دولتی توسط بنیادگرها در ایران، پدیده تروریسم تحت نام اسلام رو به دنیا آورده و به این شکل الان مسئله کرده برای همه جامعه بین‌المللی. اما از نظر اعتقادی پایه‌ای ترین در واقع عنصر به لحاظ اعتقادی در تمام گروه‌های بنیادگرا، چه شیعه و چه سنی، اونها در این نکاتی که الان من میگم مشترکن: تحمیل دین با توسل به زور، برقراری یک استبداد موحش به نام ولایت فقیه یا به نام خلافت اسلامی، بی‌اعتقادی به مرزها و جهاد برای گرفتن کشورهای دیگه و تکفیر کسایی که به اصطلاح احکام شریعت رو نمیپذیرن. و من دلم میخواد اینجا تاکید کنم که آنتیتز این تفکرم یک برداشت بردبار و دموکراتیک از اسلامه. بین داعش و ملاهای ایران جنگ هژمونی وجود داره، اما علیرغم هر اختلافی ادامه بقای گروه‌های بنیادگرا منوط به بقای رژیم ایرانه. تروریسم و افراطیگری تحت نام اسلام با حکومت ملاهای ایران به منطقه اومده و تنها با رفتن این رژیم از بین خواهد رفت و محدود خواهد شد. و جالب این که بعد از ظهور داعش مردم ایران به ملاها میگن پدرخوانده داعش.
Mrs. Rajavi, let me ask you a question that you made a comment about. How do you see the mullahs in Iran having facilitated and helped the ISIS movement? How has ISIS been able to expand its influence, its philosophy, because of the mullahs in Iran? Make that clear, if you would, on how there's that connection.
شما میدونید که داعش و رژیم همچنان که گفتم بر سر هژمونی اختلاف دارن، اما داعش و رژیم در مواقعی همکاری هم میکنن. این واقعیت هم که اپوزیسیون سوریه و مطبوعات بین‌المللی بارها گواهی دادند که بشار اسد عمدن اعضای داعش رو از زندان آزاد کرد تا به داعش بپیوندند. به علاوه فراموش نکنید که اون در حملات هوایی با مرکز داعش در سوریه کاری نداره و تمرکزش علیه اپوزیسیون میانه رو سوریه است. میخوام این نتیجه رو بگیرم که تا اونجایی که به رژیم برمیگرده، رژیم ملاها، شما میدونین پشتیبان 100% بشار اسد در سوریه است و من میخوام دوباره تاکید کنم که کارها و جنایت‌هایی که بشار اسد به کمک رژیم ملاها در سوریه انجام داده زمین ساز رشد داعش بوده و از طرف دیگه جنایاتی که مالکی به فرمان رژیم ملاها در عراق انجام دادن، سرکوب گسترده سنی ها، باعث شده که داعش به این شکل در عراق و سوریه گسترش پیدا کنه.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from New York, Mr. Zeldin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Rajavi, listening to you speak and mentioning the Green Revolution back in 2009, and we think about the undemocratic elections that took place in Iran. At that point, when the economy was doing better and oil was $100 a barrel, and millions of Iranians were rising up to take control of their country. And our president was saying that that was none of our problem. Fast forward today when the economy is worse and oil is $50 a barrel, and people like you are showing leadership, willing to take control of your own destiny. I honestly do not know whether or not my president is on the same exact team that I am. Because there are individuals like you who are willing to rise up and take control of your country's future and destiny with a vision, whether it is Iran or Syria or elsewhere, to bring stability to the Middle East. I commend you for being here and for leading your effort. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes the gentleman from California.
The topic of this hearing is defining the enemy, and I think the greatest enemy is the Shiite alliance. And I've said that before in this room. The alliance of Iran, Assad, Hezbollah, now the Houthi, and has killed more Muslims, killed more Americans, and poses a greater threat of mass destruction than does ISIS. Glad to have Mrs. Rajavi here. I want to thank the MEK for revealing to the world the Natanz nuclear plant. Speaking on behalf of roughly 400 members of Congress, thank you for telling Congress as well. Now, you personally promote a very tolerant and moderate view of Islam. You're an advocate of the separation of religion and state, and you've been an advocate for human rights and women's rights. Of course, your country is ruled by very rigid laws that call for stoning people and chopping off limbs. ISIS does the same thing, supposedly in support of a different version of Islam, Iran being Shiite, ISIS being Sunni. Why is their understanding of Islam the same, and or at least similar to our eyes? And why do both the rulers of Iran and ISIS enforce their beliefs through these gruesome measures?
با تشکر از کنگرسمن شرمن، نکته بسیار مهمی رو دست گذاشتین و اون این که بنیادگرایی در واقع اسلامی شیعه بسیار خطرناکتر از بنیادگرایی اسلامی سنیه. قبل از هر چیزم علتش اینه که یک حکومت، اونم در ابعاد در واقع حکومت ملاها در ایران با وسعت بسیار زیاد، با منابع بسیار گسترده مالی در حاکمیت و اونها رو حمایت مالی، آموزشی، عقیدتی و در همه زمینه‌ها، بنابراین بسیار خطرناکتره. در مورد این که پرسیدین چرا اینقدر در واقع خشونت و قساوت، من باید به شما بگم که علتش اینه که میخوان از طریق ایجاد وحشت به حکومتشون ادامه بدن و این روال 30 ساله، بیش از 30 و چند ساله بنیادگرایی حاکم بر تهران بوده که الان گسترش پیدا کرده به عراق، سوریه، یمن، لبنان و سایر کشورها و بقیه بنیادگراها هم از پدرخوندهشون یعنی رژیم ملاها یاد گرفتن. فراموش نکنید که ملاها بیش از 70 نوع شکنجه، دست و پا بریدن، چشم درآوردن، اعدام زنان باردار و همه جنایت ها رو مرتکب شدن و الان هم این گروه ها از جمله داعش و بقیه گروه های بنیادگرا از اونا در واقع دارن تقلید میکنن. به همین دلیل من میخوام مجددا تاکید کنم که راه حل نهایی یک خلع از این رژیم در عراق و سوریه و یمن و مهمتر از همه اونا تغییر رژیم بنیادگرای حاکم بر تهرانه، چون این رژیم یک چتر سیاسی و سرچشمه ایدئولوژیکی و پشتوانه لوجستیکی و مالی برای بنیادگراها و تروریسم در جهان امروزه و اگر نفوذ ویرانگر ملاها نبود، عراق، سوریه، یمن و لبنان امروز در ثبات و آرامش بودند. فراموش نکنید با سرنگونی رژیم ایران شبه نظامیان تحت فرمان سپاه قدس نظیر حزب الله لبنان، انصار الله حوثی در یمن و گروه‌های چنگانه در عراق در جا منهدم و نابود میشن و فضای حیاتی برای گروه‌های بنیادگرا از القاعده تا داعش و سایرین از بین میره.
And with ask unanimous consent that Mr. Davis, who's not a member of this committee, be allowed to ask questions, and if there's no objection, then the chair recognizes Mr. Davis from Illinois.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank you for your indulgence. Indeed, I am not a member of this subcommittee, but I do have interest in the subject matter, and I want to thank you, and I thank both of our witnesses for being here. Mrs. Rahava, over the past 30 years, the United States has been drawn into some serious diplomatic and military dead ends in the Mideast by mistakenly backing individuals and organizations claiming popular support, which turned out to be largely exaggerated and somewhat manufactured. Would you please tell us about the role of the National Council of Resistance in Iranian civil life and its place in current Iranian political life? And how do you measure your popular support in Iran?
باید به شما بگم که در جامعه‌ای که اختناق مطلق برش حاکمه، میدونید که امکان مراجعه به افکار عمومی نیست و ملاها هرگز حاضر به انتخابات آزاد نمیشن. بنابراین شاخص پشتوانه اجتماعی این مقاومت پایداری و گسترش این مقاومته. اون هم علی‌رغم سرکوب شدید و اعدام 120,000 تن از بهترین فرزندان مردم ایران. من اینجا کتابی رو که نام 20,000 تن از اعضای این مقاومت از همه اقشار و طبقات در اون هست رو اینجا دارم. شما میدونین جمع‌آوری 20,000 در دوران اختناق کار بسیار مشکلیه و ترس رژیم از مقاومت و کارزار شیطانسازی برای مخدوش کردن این چهره مقاومت یکی از نشانه‌های دیگر از قدرت این مقاومته. شما میدونید در تمام مراودات دیپلماتیک درخواست اول رژیم محدود کردن جنبش ماست. در ایران هر گونه وابستگی به جنبش ما مساوی با اعدامه. در قیام 2009 رژیم اذعان کرد خودش رسما که تظاهرات ضد حکومتی توسط مجاهدین سازماندهی شده بود و پشتوانه گسترده مقاومت این امکان رو فراهم کرده که به اطلاعات گسترده درباره فعالیت اتمی، موشکی و سپاه قدس و نقض حقوق بشر دست پیدا کنه. ما همیشه به ملاها گفتیم که اگر مدعی هستید که مقاومت ایران حمایت مردمی نداره، خب بیاین یک انتخابات آزاد برگزار کنیم تا معلوم بشه که چه کسی در ایران پشتوانه داره. اما فراموش نکنید که انتخابات آزاد برای ملاها مرز سرخه.
Without objection, unanimous chair will allow another individual who is not a member of this committee to ask questions. Ms. Chu from California is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to address these questions to Mrs. Rajavi. I'd like to ask about Camp Liberty, but the conditions there are poor and freedom is very severely restricted. Worse, there are reports that the Iraqi government is blockading the base, preventing food, water, and medicine from arriving. Combined with the restriction on travel, this blockade has led to at least 25 deaths, the most recent being Mr. Jalal Abedini on April 17th. Can you give us a sense of living conditions in Camp Liberty in regard to food, medicine, and decent housing?
من باید بگم که ما عمیقاً نگران وضعیت ساکنان در کمپ لیبرتی هستیم. مشکل اصلی لیبرتی فقدان امنیت و حفاظته، به طوری که از زمان انتقال حفاظت ساکنان اشرف به دولت عراق تا کنون 117 تن از مجاهدان جان خودشون از دست دادند. 7 تن به گروگان گرفته شدند. ساکنان از دسترسی به موقع به مراقبت‌های پزشکی محرومند. به همین علت تا به حال 25 نفر جان باختند. در حالی که امکان نجات اونها بوده. ساکنان آزادی تردد ندارن و محدودیت‌های زیادی بر اونها اعمال میشه. از جمله هنوز کمپ لیبرتی به برق شهر وصل نیست و از شروع کار دولت عبادی تغییری در کار این کمپ نبوده و همچنان حالت زندان داره اونجا و دولت جدید باید کمپ لیبرتی رو به عنوان کمپ پناهندگی به رسمیت بشناسه و باید محدودیت غیر انسانی رو برداره و اذیت و آزار روزانه ساکنان رو بهش خاتمه بده. به خصوص مهمه که مدیریت کمپ رو عوض کنه، چون افراد در واقع که الان در مدیریت این کمپ کسانی که در قتل ساکنان اشرف و لیبرتی دست داشتن و شما میدونید که دولت آمریکا در مورد حفاظت ساکنان تعهد داشته ولی متاسفانه تعهداتش رو نقض کرده، در حالی که کمپ لیبرتی باید در منطقه استحفاظی آمریکا قرار بگیره و یا سلاح‌های شخصی ساکنان برای دفاع از خودشون در مقابل شبه نظامیان به اونها برگردونده بشه. همچنین آمریکا باید به تعهدش در مورد مانیتورینگ دائم لیبرتی عمل کنه.
Let me ask now about, do you have any confidence in the current government to improve conditions? And what is the future for the people at Camp Liberty? Is there a U.S. role?
ما فکر میکنیم که آمریکا در واقع باید از دولت عراق بخواد که مسئولیتش رو انجام بده. تا الان این دولت کاری نکرده که ما بتونه به اون اعتماد کنیم و کماکان افراد در لیبرتی در حالت زندان هستند، در شرایط یک زندانی. دولت جدید عراق باید کمپ لیبرتی رو به عنوان کمپ پناهندگی به رسمیت بشناسه و محدودیت غیر انسانی رو برداره و به اذیت و آزار روزانه ساکنان خاتمه بده و همچنان که گفتم مدیریت کمپ رو عوض کنه و اجازه نده که رژیم ایران عواملش رو برای شکنجه روحی و زمین سازی یک قتل عام دیگه به لیبرتی بفرسته. و من فکر میکنم که دولت آمریکا میتونه از دولت عراق بخواد که به این وظایفش عمل کنه.
Thank you. I yield back.
Thank the gentlelady. We've also been joined on the dais by the gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Jackson Lee, without objection, unanimous consent that she'll be allowed to question the witnesses. You have 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for your kindness, and let me add my appreciation to both you and Ranking Member Sherman and all the members on this panel for their courtesies extended, and to indicate that this is a very historic hearing because as far as my memory can recollect, Mr. Chairman, this is one of the few times that the voice of the opposition of the government of Iran has been part of an official discussion. And that's very important for the American people and for us to formulate the right kinds of policies. Many of us worked for long years to ensure that this great leader, who happens to be a woman, would be able to speak and would be able to lead the MEK and be removed from the terrorist list. There were many machinations and court decisions, and we have moved to a decision which I think reflects the fairness of this nation. Might I also say that the importance of hearing both views in the backdrop of ISIS and the backdrop of the merging of the caliphate, it's from Syria to Iraq, to Iran, is very important. As we watch Yemen and we watch Libya, we know that we have to come together around a full understanding of the influence and impact of ISIS. So let me say to Mr. Harvey, who has been a continuing leader and someone who has opened her information cycle, if I will, to ensure that information be given. She doesn't hide information. She has been open and forthright. So I would like to pose these questions. We're trying to discern ISIS, the enemy, and I would just make the comment that any organization that beheads and uses the kind of horrific video to intimidate certainly is a defined enemy from my perspective, and all those who contribute to the growth and continuation of ISIS, using them as a front for the dastardly deeds they want to do, we have to review. We have to look at Syria, we have to look at what is happening in Iraq, and we certainly must look at what is happening in Iran. But I do want to say as well, in the Nuclear Nonproliferation Agreement framework, which we don't have, I still believe that we should look at that in a way that we look and analyze first before we condemn, and we take the input that members of Congress will hopefully be able to give. To Ms. Harvey, I would like to ask the question that you promote a very tolerant and moderate view of Islam. You're an advocate of separation of religion and state, and you also favor women's rights and human rights. Is it true that Iran is upholding laws that call for the stoning to death of people and the chopping off of limbs?
دقیقاً. باید به شما بگم که اونچه که ملاهای حاکم بر تهران انجام میدن به نام اسلامه ولی ربطی به اسلام نداره. اونا سنگسار میکنن، دست و پا قطع میکنن، تجاوز میکنن و تا الان بیش از 120,000 تن از بهترین فرزندان مردم ایران اعدام کردن. به نام دین و اسلام این کار کردن. ولی من باید به شما بگم که اسلام دین رحمت و آزادی و استبداد و تبعیض و تعصب دینی رو رد میکنه و همچنان که کنگرس وومن خانم جکسون اشاره کردن، جکسون لی، ما به جدایی دین از دولت اعتقاد داریم. ما به برداشت بردبار و دموکراتیک از اسلام معتقدیم که همون اسلام حقیقیه. ما معتقد به رأی عمومی هستیم و خواهان جدای دین و دولت. از نظر اسلام زن و مرد برابرن، در حالی که شما میدونین بنیادگراها زن ستیزند و هر چیزی که بر پایه زور و اجبار و اکراه باشه اسلام نیست. نه دین اجباری، نه عبادت اجباری، نه حجاب اجباری. و به قول قرآن لا اکراه فی الدین.
Thank you. I'm going to make these very brief because I know our time has ended. I just simply know that in the 1979 revolution, the Iranian intellectuals called for democracy and human rights. You just mentioned Islamic fundamentalism, which Iran seems to be the epicenter of, and therefore promoting terrorism. You might want to comment how you think this happened to Iran, and then maybe the top challenges that we must face. If we identify ISIL as an enemy, what are the challenges that relate to freedom, democracy, peace, and security that we all want to see? Let me finish by saying that if you have any comments about Camp Liberty and those continued attacks, if you want to include that as to how we can work to better stop that, and I would appreciate the Chairman's indulgence, and I thank you very much for your answers to these questions.
من باید به شما بگم که مردم ایران دموکراسی میخواستند و میخواهند. متاسفانه خمینی رهبری انقلابی رو که مردم ایران برای آزادی و دموکراسی بهش دست داده بودن رو بود و در واقع یک حکومت بنیادگرا رو که با کشتن آزادی ها و حذف همه نیروهای سیاسی در جامعه به ویژه زنان و جوانان به پیش برد و الان در واقع 37 ساله که یک حکومت بنیادگرا در تهران حاکمه و میدونین که البته این حکومت پایه‌هاش بر صدور بنیادگرایی و تروریسم، سرکوب مطلق در داخل و به دست آوردن در واقع بمب اتمی برای به گروگان گرفتن سیاست جامعه بین المللی. اینا 4 پایه این حکومت بنیادگرا هستن. در ماه آوریل شما فراموش نکنید فقط 150 نزدیک به 150 اعدام بوده. یعنی فقط با سرکوب و اعدام بر جامعه داره حکومت میکنه. ولی در مقابلش یک مقاومت سازمان یافته بیش از 37 ساله که ایستاده و تونسته این رژیم رو، بنیادگرایی و تروریسمش رو افشا کنه و به دنیا نشون بده که چه کسی پشت بنیادگرایی و تروریسم در عراق، در سوریه، در لبنان، در یمن و در سایر جاهاست و نشون بده که سایت های مخفی اتمی اون چگونه برای به دست آوردن سلاح اتمی این مدت مشغول کار بودن و چگونه نقض حقوق بشر مستمر در ایران واقع شده. ولی مطمئنم که مردم ایران هم به کمک مقاومت ایران می توانند رژیم ملاهای حاکم بر تهران رو سرنگون کنند و آزادی و دموکراسی رو برای مردم ایران و مردم منطقه به ارمغان بیارن. و در مورد لیبرتی باید بهتون بگم که مجدداً دولت آمریکا در مورد حفاظت ساکنان تعهد داشته، ولی این تعهدات نقض شده و دولت آمریکا باید کمپ لیبرتی رو در منطقه استحفاظی خودش قرار بده و شرایط محاصره اونجا رو از دولت عراق بخواد که لغو کنه و حقوق اونها رو به عنوان افراد حفاظت شده تحت کنوانسیون های ژنو به رسمیت بشناسه.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman.
I want to thank all of the members of the committee and guests of the committee for being here today. This has been a very insightful hearing, and the witnesses have presented. Mrs. Rajavi, I want to thank you as well, bringing a perspective from an Iranian point of view that is not the official mullah point of view of the government of Iran, having your expertise and seeing firsthand the results of oppression in Iran and the oppression of ISIS. And thank you as well, especially this late time in the evening. I guess it's about 11:30 or 11:45, wherever, somewhere in there. But I do, and also want to thank all of the people in the audience that shown a great interest in this hearing. So this subcommittee is adjourned, and there'll be follow-up questions that can be submitted by members of the subcommittee to all of the witnesses that have testified. Thank you.
I'd like to once again thank you for organizing this hearing, your solidarity with the Iranian people and their desire for freedom and democracy, and your efforts on behalf of the residents of Camp Liberty, much to the detriment of religious fascism ruling Iran, is laying the seeds for a new chapter in the relation between our two nations. The Moras ruling in Iran do not represent the Iranian people, and it is time for the international community to reject Mullah's regime and side with the Iranian people and resistance to establish democracy in Iran. Regime change in Iran by the Iranian people and resistance is the beginning of the end of Islamic fundamentalism. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Madam Rajavi, we welcome you to the Subcommittee on Terrorism, Non-Proliferation, and Trade.
We published a book, Islamic Fundamentalism, the new global threat, warning about this threat and identifying its epicenter in Tehran.
I want to thank the MEK for revealing to the world the Natanz nuclear plant.
This is a very historic hearing because, as far as my memory can recollect,